Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree. I was taking some notes as I was trying to get connected, I guess, to the energy for your reading today. I also like to just kind of sit still and then I jot things down that come to me. So, of course, I'll be sharing those with you in your reading today. For the readings this month, I will be using my Trippin Waite Tarot deck. Last month, so many of you enjoyed the Groovy Waite Tarot, so this is another deck by that same creator. Also very vibrant, very fun. I think you will enjoy it a lot. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider Waite Tarot, as I always do. And then Aquarius, I will close out your reading with an Angels of Abundance Oracle card. Oh. Okay, you can see things are already starting to happen here. Okay, Aquarius, well, let's get right into it. All right. What do we need to know for the sign of Aquarius as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April 2021? Now, it's interesting because I'm picking up on a lot of emotional energy and a lot of emotional heaviness for you, Aquarius. I'm not sure if you're having some relationship stuff going on, or you maybe can feel as we're moving into this new month, things could be a little stressful emotionally for you. I'm picking up that there's a situation that's causing you a lot of emotional grief. It's also affecting your money. Either it's affecting your job or your work directly, or it's affecting your overall wellness and your ability to thrive in the work that you do, whatever that may be. And I'm picking up that this emotional stuff, it could be a relationship, it could be things going on, with colleagues at work. But I'm feeling like this is something that's very, very heavy and emotionally stressful. The other thing is I also am seeing here that this is something that has been brewing. This is nothing new. And you're thinking that, you should have dealt with it, or you should have walked away, or you should have quit, or you should have ended the relationship. And you're feeling a little guilty that, it's like you knew this wasn't a good situation. And so you're feeling like, wow, I should have ended this months ago and then I wouldn't be in this position now. Now, I say all this to say, I don't want to have you feel or worry or be concerned that, the reading is starting off with a lot of emotional heaviness. But at the same time, I'm feeling like this is giving a lot of you clarity about exactly where you need to be, where your heart needs to be, and where your mind needs to be in order to get your finances together. Now, some of you, I'm picking up too that this is more something that it's like things in the past keep recurring. And when things in the past keep showing up, it's something that you have to be very, very careful with, because then it distracts you from moving forward and having the right type of vision and goal and perspective of your life. Now, like I said, how does this all relate to money? How does this relate to your finances? Well, this emotional stuff that you are dealing with, like I said, it directly impacts your ability to thrive when it's time to make money, when it's time to be creative, when it's time to, get your hustle on or get your grind on or whatever it is that you do. Now, here's where things get really, really good, though. You are going to be getting some support to make things work, and this is not going to be something that carries over throughout the month. You've got a very beautiful, loving reconnection also happening in the beginning of the month. And this is definitely going to be the support and the guidance, and I want to say it's someone who's going to give you the encouragement to do what you need to do in order to take care of this emotional heaviness. The other thing about this too is I also am picking up that this could be a creative endeavor, something you may have started in the past and you never finished it, and now, because you're feeling a little out of sorts emotionally, you decide to really throw yourself back into this project, and it takes off, and it does do really, really well, and it supports you, and it definitely brings money to you. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I never thought that anybody would be interested, and now you're like, wow, not only are people interested, but they want more. So Aquarius, as we move into April, don't be surprised if things feel a little heavy. However, by the time we get through the first week of April, you will feel a shift. You will understand what your next move will be, especially as it relates to your money, especially as it relates to your work, your investments, your business, all of those things. You will know what to do. Even though you're going to be feeling a little, like I said, it's like those things where you're just like, damn it, I should have taken care of this. Now it's becoming more of an issue. And don't be afraid to walk away. If that is what your soul is telling you to do, if that's what feels right intuitively, please do it. But again, this is very short-lived. This is not going to be a permanent situation. And like I said, by the time we close out that first week of April, you are going to have a lot of insight. And the other thing too, Aquarius, is I'm also seeing here there's going to be a connection, something that you never noticed before that kind of resurfaces. And again, that could be the energy of this card here, but it's something that you weren't like really looking at or really examining, and now this it's kind of like things kind of take on a new life or a new perspective, where you see things with new eyes. So don't get frustrated. You're going to be just fine. All right, now we've got the Tower card in the reverse, and I have been seeing this in almost all the signs readings this month. The Tower card in the reverse talks about we are in the rebuilding phase. I've said it in the other signs readings. All of us, I think all of us as a collective, are going through a deconstructing phase. We are dismantling things in our lives, trying to set ourselves up and rebuild and project ourselves for financial success. And sometimes we have to do an overhaul of our budget, an overhaul of our career. Maybe we have to reconsider education at some point. Whatever the steps are for you, you're definitely going to be in that mindset, and you're going to be on that track of I am, creatively building the life that I want so I can get the results that I desire. So the thing about the Tower is that it talks about, the hard part is over. You've already figured out what needs to be done. Now it's just a matter of taking the steps, putting one foot in front of the other, and gathering all the tools and the resources and the information that you need in order to create this life, in order to create this financial wealth. Now, the good thing is what I'm also seeing here is that you're going to be supported through this. I know a lot of us, depending on what our situations are, some of us are students, some of us are employees, some of us are on disability, some people are, are getting stimulus. So I don't want you to worry, Aquarius, that you're not going to have the money you need when you need it. Now, this is not to say that, you're not going to be showered with unlimited wealth, at least not yet. But if there is money you need for tools or equipment or education, or maybe to, buy a business license or to set up a website, whatever the case may be, you're going to have the money in place to do those things, okay? Don't think that you won't. The thing is you may not recognize it at first, or it may show up in a way that you weren't even expecting. You know, maybe someone gives you a loan, maybe you win a scratch off, I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I can see here that you will have the money to get the tools or whatever it is you need in order to continue on in this rebuilding phase. Now we have the Nine of Wands here. This is the card of frustration, and I think I already kind of touched on that. You will be feeling a little frustrated just because you're still trying to figure things out, but by the time where everything is said and done, you're going to be taking a lot of action here. We've got the King of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, King of Cups also in reverse. King of Cups talks about sometimes feeling overwhelmed emotionally. Again, I think I've already covered that here roughly in this first week. Now, the other thing about the King of Cups is sometimes he's a little insensitive too. In other words, he doesn't allow his emotions to get the best of him because he's focused on whatever it is he's doing. And I think that's probably going to be a good balance for you to have, where you're not overly emotionally committed to anything, but at the same time, you're not going to be too caught up in feelings here. You're going to really, and probably almost to the point where people are going to say, wow, she's mean, or wow, he's, got an attitude, whatever. But the thing is sometimes you have to be a little firm in order to, do what you got to do. Next, we got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse is telling me things that have a financial tie to them probably won't be happening quickly. In other words, the knights are always energy, and it's energy moving quickly. But since we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the energy of money, and he's in the reverse, that's telling me that things are not going to happen very, very swiftly. So don't project that things are not happening just because they're moving slowly, right? Understand that just because something is slowing down, or it could be delayed, or it could be, on pause right now, it doesn't mean it's going to stay in that way forever. But I am seeing here that probably once we hit the second week of April, you will see that there is something that is a little stagnant. Again, you have to keep pushing forward, and you have to trust, and just keep doing what you can do, and everything will kind of fall into place when the timing is right. I already talked about the Four of Swords here. The Four of Swords in reverse means you're not taking a step back. It means you're being very proactive. You're doing everything that needs to be done. You're doing everything that you can do in order to grow your money, get your money back on track, to grow your business, to ascend in your career, all of those things. All right. So let's see what else is showing up. Oh, for Aquarius, as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of April 2021. All right, so we got a repeater here. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. All right. Very clearly, whatever was being held up here in this second week of April, by the time we hit the second half of the month, looks like that gets resolved. It gets unlocked, starts flowing again. Whatever money was held up or tied up, looks like it starts to flow, like I said, once we hit the second half of the month. So that's fantastic. Next, we got the Two of Cups. This is divinely going your separate ways here. Now, I'm not surprised because this kind of fell onto here, which kind of fell onto that Ace of Cups. And remember, I told you there was some emotional heaviness, could be a relationship that's causing you stress. Looks like by the time you get to the second half of April, you decide to go your separate ways. Now, I'm not saying that this is like your marriage or your, your long-term relationship. It could be, but this doesn't necessarily have to symbolize that, because remember, this is not a relationship reading. We're talking in the context of money. So whatever it is that was causing this emotional heaviness here, that had a financial tie to it, it looks like you decide to walk away from it once we hit the second half of the month. It could be a job, could be a partnership. It could even be canceling a subscription to something that you just feel like is no longer valuable to you. You know, whatever it is, like I said, whatever you feel like has been a drain on you financially, you graciously walk away from that. Next, we have the Lovers. Now, this is interesting right next to the Two of Cups, because the Lovers card talks about a divine union. So you could be letting go of something to make room for something better. I see this all the time, especially with jobs. For some of you, you may be quitting a job that, you know, maybe it's just not fitting in your life anymore, and now you're going to, you know, get a new job where you make more money. Maybe you get a better schedule. Maybe you have better benefits, whatever the case may be. We already talked about the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, that's good. I'm happy to see him moving quickly through the month. That money energy is definitely on track. Next, we got the Hangman. Now, the Hangman talks about being unstuck. In other words, knowing the next steps to take. Looks like you get clarity by the time we move into the second half of April, and you have a very clear plan and a very clear guide for yourself of what your next move is going to be as it relates to your money. Now, for those of you who are looking to start a business, you really do have to start putting things in place, because you don't want to waste any time. And I'm picking up that there's a sense of urgency here for some of you. Some of you may have been dragging your feet, procrastinating, whatever. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to take advantage of, you know, the timing. There could be some loans coming through for some of you, and now you know exactly, you know, the time frame that you're working with in order to make something happen. I'm picking up that some of you too are looking to buy a home, and this is going to be a good time for you to start that. You know, maybe you haven't been necessarily serious about, you know, calling a realtor and making appointments and driving through neighborhoods. Now is the time to do that. Next, we have the Four of Pentacles. Again, you're going to have to be very cautious and very careful with your budget. Now, the thing is sometimes we can be a little overly cautious, and we don't want to spend money. Like it's not like we don't have the money. It's like we have the money, but we don't necessarily want to spend it. And I know that, because I have been there many times in my life. You know, but sometimes you are going to have to invest, right? Like sometimes you need to hire a coach, because you need someone to bring you to that next level. Or maybe you need to hire a personal trainer, because you're trying to get your body in shape so you can do the work and live the life that you want to do. Whatever you want to do, there's going to be an investment to it, okay? And so you can't be afraid of investing. You have to understand that whatever you invest, as long as you're investing in yourself and in your goals and in, you know, in your life that you want to create, it's going to come back to you in more ways than you probably could even imagine. Finally, we got the Two of Swords here. Two of Swords means you're going to be making a decision, Aquarius. Excuse me. Now, this is probably going to be a decision that you're not wanting to make. However, I am picking up that this is going to be another money decision. Could be something work-related. Could be something investment-related. But you're going to have to make the choice. Eventually, whatever it is, it's going to keep coming up, and you're going to probably... you can only postpone it for so long. Eventually, you're going to have to take action. Not taking action is also a choice. And so you want to make sure that whatever decision you make is something that's going to, you know, set you up for success and not leave you in a position of just things kind of happening by chance. All right, Aquarius, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances. Feeling this and this. Prosperity and abundance for the month of April 2021. Beautiful. All right, Aquarius. this is definitely, it's going to be crazy, but I can tell you how it ends. It's going to end really, really good. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Wands here. When we close out the month, pay attention to your conversations and your communication, because some people are not going to hear what you're saying. Okay, this happens to everybody at some point. Seven of Wands talks about communication being a little strained, or things being misinterpreted, or sometimes people, just hearing what they want to hear, selective hearing. So if you are having some important conversations with people, especially anything finance related, make sure you document, either take notes, get it in writing, make sure you repeat and say, okay, so this is what was said, blah, blah, blah. Just make sure that you are, the person is understanding what you say, and you are understanding what the other person says. Next, we got the Ace of Swords here. Now, the Ace of Swords in the reverse talks about, sometimes the breakthrough just doesn't happen. And it doesn't mean that the journey is not still worth it, okay, or that the effort, nothing is ever wasted. Especially, when it comes to finances. Now, I understand there's times when we lose money. There's times when money does feel wasted in a sense. But sometimes you have to go through that process and that experience to understand how to do better in the future. Trust me, everybody has made financial mistakes. Everybody has wasted money to some degree. And, not everybody learns from those mistakes. But Aquarius, you are being put in a position to where you're just kind of being more, I want to say, the word exposed comes to my mind, but I don't know if that's really correct. But I guess I could use the word exposed in the sense that things are being revealed to you, spending habits, investing habits, money management habits. These things are being exposed so you can either correct them, make them better, or expand upon them. Okay, so, sometimes we don't learn things unless we actually experience them firsthand. And I have the feeling that this Ace of Swords is really doing that for you this month, Aquarius. Next, we have the Nine of Swords. This is another good card to see in the reverse, because it means that you're no longer stressed or anxious or worried about what's going to be happening with your money. By the time we close out April, you're going to feel a lot more confident with finances and with work and with your money, because things were going to feel a little shaky, earlier in the month. But by the time we close out April, things are going to be beautiful. The hard part is going to be over, and now it's just about progressing forward. Next, we have the Justice card in the reverse. The Justice card means a decision being made without your input, or something that affects you that you have no control over. Sometimes people, sometimes this happens when there's changes at work, like layoffs, or say personnel changes. Sometimes this happens even in court cases where they say, oh, now you have to pay this when you were supposed to only pay that. It could be anything, but a decision is made, it affects you directly, and it's going to affect your finances. It doesn't look like, from what I'm seeing here, it's going to be anything major, but it could be something as insignificant as like a ticket. It's like the judge makes a decision. It's like, okay, you were speeding, pay the fine. It's something like that. I mean, it's not great, but, it's not something that's going to, totally devastate you. Next, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this is good because this talks about you're going to be busy and money's going to be coming in. You're going to be busy working. You're going to be attracting new clients, new customers, new business. You could even be picking up more hours at work for those of you that do work. If you do not have a job per se, if you have a business, looks like your business is going to be very, very busy, probably be thriving by the time we hit the end of April. And for those of you who are students or maybe retired, you're going to find some projects that keep you busy and probably have a financial, boost to your bottom line here. Maybe you creatively do something, and you're a student, but you bake cookies and they're selling. Or if you're retired, maybe you have a little, I don't know, sell on eBay or something. Whatever the case may be, you're going to be busy with some type of financial endeavor that is going to be profitable for you. Finally, we have the World card. The World card is probably One of my favorite cards in the deck, because this talks about the completion of a cycle. The other thing means the world literally is serving itself up for you, Aquarius. So I hope you get ready for that. The world is literally showing up at your feet, ready to serve you in every way, shape, and form. You just have to do your part, and it looks like throughout April you are doing your part. The other thing about the World card is that it means that things are just really working. Things are just coming together. The cycle is complete. So if there was something that you had to grow through in the month of April, it looks like you learned the lesson and now you are ascending to that next level. So Aquarius, I've said it before, the month is going to feel a little up and down, okay? But if you can just stay strong, it's going to end on a very beautiful, beautiful energy for you. So let's go ahead and close out your reading with an Angels of Abundance Oracle card. This kind of touches on some things we talked about. Raise or promotion, congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. Yes, Aquarius. Like I said, when all is said and done, you are going to definitely be increasing your abundance flow. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. I want to thank you so much, Aquarius, for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.